Well, hello and welcome once again to Junk Shop Library's Improv Bible Study. We will turn today to Exodus 13th chapter. Let's jump right in. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast, it is mine. And Moses said unto the people, Remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage, for by strength of hand the Lord brought you out from this place. There shall no leavened bread be eaten. This day came ye out in the month Abib. And it shall be, when the Lord shall bring thee unto the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee, a land flowing with milk and honey, that thou shalt keep this service in this month. 7 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, and in the 7th day shall be a feast to the Lord. Unleavened bread shall be eaten 7 days. And there shall no leavened bread be seen with thee, neither shall there be leaven seen with thee in all thy quarters. And thou shalt show thy son in that day, saying, This is done because of that which the Lord did unto me when I came forth out of Egypt. And it shall be for a sign unto thee upon thine hand, and for a memorial between thine eyes, that the Lord's law may be in thy mouth. For with a strong hand hath the Lord brought thee out of Egypt. Thou shalt therefore keep this ordinance in his season from year to year. And it shall be, when the Lord shall bring thee into the land of the Canaanites, as he sware unto thee and to thy fathers, and shall give it thee, that thou shalt set apart unto the Lord all that openeth the matrix, and every firstling that cometh of a beast which thou hast, the males shall be the Lord's. And every firstling of an ass thou shalt redeem with a lamb, and if thou wilt not redeem it, then thou shalt break his neck. And all the firstborn of man among thy children thou shalt redeem. And it shall be, when thy son asketh thee in time to come, saying, What is this? That thou shalt say unto him, By strength of hand the Lord brought us out from Egypt, from the house of bondage. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh would hardly let us go, that the Lord slew all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and the firstborn of beast. Therefore I sacrifice to the Lord all that openeth the matrix, being males, but all the firstborn of my children I redeem. And it shall be for a token upon thine hand, and for frontlets between thine eyes, for by strength of hand the Lord brought us out of Egypt. And it came to pass, when Pharaoh had let the people go, that God led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. For God said, Lest peradventure the people repent when they see war, and they return to Egypt. But God led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea, and the children of Israel went up harnessed out of the land of Egypt. And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones away hence with you. And they took their journey from Succoth, and encamped in Etham in the edge of the wilderness. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, to go by day and night. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. And that's the 13th chapter of Exodus. Where precious little happens, except we are assured this is something that we are to remember. Remember. The only thing of significant interest in the whole chapter is verse 13, where we're given the instructions that you can sacrifice a lamb instead of a firstborn donkey, but if you choose not to, you have to break its neck. Very specific, no explanation. I lied. There's one more thing of interest. That is verse 17, which clears up, or tries to clear up, some confusion that a lot of people, including myself, have had over the years with the Exodus story, which is why in the world didn't they just go to the Promised Land? Because the Promised Land was just right yonder. Pretty straight shoot. Now, then later on, once they're almost in the Promised Land, as a punishment for disobedience, the children of Israel are set to essentially wander a big circle in the Sinai desert until the generation that did the sinning is all dead. But at this point, they're just happy to get out of Egypt. God's happy to get them out of Egypt. The Egyptians are happy for them to get out of Egypt. And God thinks to himself and looks at the map and says, you know, they could just right over there, but there's those dang warring Philistines there. And if I just throw them into the deep end and show them the warring Philistines, they might throw up their hands and say, I'd rather be back in Egypt and go back to Egypt. So we're going to take a detour instead. We're going to go way north to the Red Sea and cross over and come back down through presumably an increasingly warlike series of tribes until we finally get to the boss of the last level once they've leveled up enough to be able to tackle the Philistines? I don't know. God is a weird bloke. And I think that's all I've got on the short and repetitive 13th chapter of Exodus. We'll be back soon with chapter 14. I have no idea what happens in 14, and I'm not going to look ahead. I want to be just as surprised as you. All right, well, check out the rest of the playlist if there's anything you missed along the way. Finally out of Egypt. Get to go have some desert adventures. If you're not subscribed already, what are you waiting for? Poke the Pope! And throw me those thumbs ups, if you would. They really do help. Y'all take care, be safe, and we will see you again soon.